guys, welcome to ASK REE again. Thank you for the continuous support. New subscribers, welcome. I'm giving you 3 seconds for you to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget the little bell for notification for every time I post a new video. It's 3, 2, 1, ding. Thank you. Okay, hi guys. Thank you so much for the continuous support. Keep watching, keep sharing. Thank you so much. Shout out to my team behind the scenes. I love you. Shout out to my other producers from home and everywhere else. You know yourselves. We arrange the shows before we come, we talk. I love you. Getting into today's topic. This was a request from a fellow viewer. She asked me to talk about this, so here we are, me serving the community. I'm here for you. And then the topic is life after emotional abuse. Hey guys, this is painful, this is difficult. I don't know what to say, but life after abuse. In fact, emotional abuse. She was very specific. It has to be emotional abuse. So, as usual, I'll define it before I go further. Emotional abuse is a way to control another person by using emotions to criticize, embarrass, shame, blame them, or otherwise manipulate them into whatever you want. Be it asking them to do things for you, or to do things in a certain way that they don't like, you're manipulating them either ways. A relationship is emotionally abusive when there is a consistent pattern of abusive words or bullying behaviors, or behaviors that just wear down on a person, something that she doesn't like, something she's not comfortable with, something that breaks down the self-esteem or undermine their mental health. Mental or emotional abuse, while it's very common in dating, so listening to where my viewer was coming from with her story, she's been through this in a relationship. So I will look at this issue from a relationship's view. So in a relationship, it's very difficult to recognize this abuse because it's very subtle and it's manipulative. It chips away your self-esteem, and then you begin to doubt your perceptions and your reality. The underlying goal of emotional abuse is to control the victim. Just that. To basically control you, to isolate you, to silence you. Because most abuse, you find that a person can actually isolate you from your friends. Your friends become a problem, and then you trying to make your partner happy, you cut them out of your life, you know. You're isolated from your family. He's always complaining, your sister does this, your sister always wants you to call. And then you're gone just like that because you're trying to make somebody happy. It's not easy to pick it up while it's happening. Like, guys, this is difficult. How do you notice? How? Because this is a person you love. You're the person that you're building with. You are creating a future together. But then there's these things that are happening. So how are you supposed to say, well, this is normal and this is not? This is abuse. This is not. How do you pick out actions that a person is doing that are, even if what this, you know, like, guys. Problem is, we get to a point where we tell ourselves, oh, but it's not that bad. But once you get to that point where you say, it's not that bad, it's bad. Why are you saying it's not that bad? Bad is bad. There's no bad, better, baddest. It's either it's bad or it's not. So you can't say it's not that bad. It's bad. Everyone deserves to be treated with kindness and respect. If you are feeling wounded or frustrated, confused, misunderstood, depressed, anxious, worthless at any time that you're interacting with somebody, the reason you're feeling that way is because you're emotionally abused. You find that it's very difficult for you to even initiate a conversation, or if you have matters that you want to address or talk about, you can't even talk about them because to you, it's like, if I bring this up, it's going to end this way. This person is going to say this to me. Like, they break down your self-esteem. You can't even say anything. Emotional abuse has a lot of impact in our lives, and they can be very severe, especially if it's an ongoing abuse. Like, one loses their entire sense of self. Sometimes you can't even talk. Even if it's when that person is not around. Your self-esteem is so broken that you can't even have your own life outside. You can't have conversations with other people because you often feel like it will probably end the same way. It will often go the very way that it's going on the other side, you know. The wounds that you get from emotional abuse are not physical at all. You can't walk around and you just tell, that one she's physically abused, that one is emotionally abused. Physically, yes, you see the process and all, but emotional, we can't tell unless you tell us. We can never know you are abused. So basically, if you decide you want to hide that, you can get away with it. You will hide it. You will keep it to yourself for as long as you want to keep it. The victim may begin to agree with the abuser and become internally critical. And once this happens, most victims become trapped in the abusive relationship, believing that they will never be good enough for anybody else, which means you stay now because you've decided and believed, this is as good as it gets, it's not that bad, I can stay here, I'll be here. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. Emotional abuse can even impact friendships because emotionally abused people often worry about how people truly see them and if they truly like them. So basically, you're never sure of yourself. So now, you don't even know who you can trust. You don't know who's there for you for real. You cannot even see what's real and what's not, basically. So now you're just there. Your whole life is impacted by this. Eventually, victims pull back from friendships. They start isolating themselves, which was basically the plan of the perpetrator in the first place. Because that's the plan, to isolate you, to make you believe that that person, your partner, is the only person who's there for you, the only person who can back you up in anything, which is not true. It's just making you believe that. And then they convince themselves that no one likes them and no one will ever like them. And from that, you can actually get a number of health problems like depression, anxiety, stomach ulcers, heart palpitations, eating disorders, and very importantly and most common, insomnia. I know most people have insomnia. Yes, you can also get insomnia from emotional abuse. You get to think of a lot of things, then you don't rest any longer. Every time you try and sleep, a lot of things just rush to your mind. How are you supposed to rest while you are thinking of a lot of things? And then getting to the whole point of the conversation today, life after emotional abuse. How do you deal with such? The first step in dealing with an emotional abusive relationship is to recognize the abuse itself. If you are able to recognize and identify the aspect of abuse you're going through in your relationship, it's important to acknowledge it first so that you can deal with it. You need to accept it. By being honest about what you're experiencing, you can begin to take control of your life again. You can reclaim your life. You can start with your journey of life after emotional abuse. After you are honest with yourself, I think you must make yourself a priority. I think that's where we start. Prioritize yourself, what you want, what you need. Discover what makes you happy. Discover what cheers you up. Put yourself first in everything. Like, as long as I'm happy, me. Not my partner, me. As long as I'm happy. And then you will need to establish boundaries. Don't make boundaries and just say them or write them down or send them in a message to your person or whoever, and not live up to them. Don't just write boundaries to say I have boundaries. No, establish boundaries that you have intention of keeping and living up to, because you will need to make sure that happens so that you can heal. You need to stop blaming yourself for everything that is happening. It is not your fault. You do not choose to be abused, and there is no justification or any reason that any person can give you to say, I abused you because you did this, we did that because you did this. There is no reason that is good enough. It's not there. Realize that you can't fix the person who's abusing you. Don't try and fix that person. You can't fix the person at all. They can only fix themselves when they are ready to fix themselves. So don't focus on trying to fix that person. You need to remind yourself that their actions that they are doing are their choices, and you are not to be blamed for that. The only thing you can fix and control is yourself and the response to what they do to you. If you feel your response to what they do is a bit difficult, you will need to avoid engaging. I don't know how, but you need to avoid engaging with a person that doesn't make you happy. You know, when a person talks, every time you talk to this person, your mood changes every day. Every time you talk to this person, you're now no longer happy. They said this and that and that. Stay away, man. Stay away. Because every time you go there, something goes wrong. You might as well not even go there to begin with, you know. Stay away. And then you need to build a supportive network. Find friends you can trust or family members. If you feel you cannot trust either, find a therapist, find a psychologist. There are anonymous lines that you can actually contact and talk to people that help you with things. You know, talking to a stranger sometimes helps more than talking to a person you know, especially if you fear of being judged, because you know people that we know, they will judge you and then they'll go tell everybody in your street what's going on with you, you know. So build a supportive network somewhere. You don't have people you can trust, find strangers, therapists, psychologists. They do help. And then you will need to work on an exit plan. You're not going to be able to fix the abuser, and you cannot keep watching how you respond to a person, and you cannot keep avoiding a person. So the best way around it is just to exit. You need to leave. So you will need to work on a plan of how you want to live so that you are happy. Remember, we are prioritizing you. You can't say, if I leave, he won't be able to do this, or he's going to be sad, he's going to be broken, or my aunt said this is the boyfriend for life, I can't leave my boyfriend. No, we are not aunting, we are not neighboring, we are not him. We are prioritizing ourselves. So this is what we want. We want to stay away from the abuse. So we work on an exit plan. Lastly, but not least, sometimes we attempt to deal with abuse or reduce it, and then the plan or whatever we are working on backfires, and it just probably makes the abuse worse. Don't give up because of that. Keep trying, find other ways to deal with it. There's always another way. It can't always be one way. There's always one way. For example, avoid arguing with the person that you're trying to stay away from. Like, if you're emotionally abusing me, why would you start conversations that you know already this will lead us in arguments? You don't want to argue, because you know once we argue, it doesn't end well. Don't try to understand where they are coming from or make excuses for them. Accept it as it is. They are doing what they're doing because it's their choice. It is who they are. So you need to stop making excuses for them and just work on you. Remember, it's very important you are prioritizing you. You are working on you, creating your life after emotional abuse. Don't try and please the person who's abusing you. You're not prioritizing them. You're prioritizing yourself. So even if you know me doing this to heal might hurt him or he won't be happy with this, it's fine. He's not the priority. You are. Wrapping up, I'll say I'm wishing you all the best to my viewer who requested for me to talk about this. I hope you find healing, and I hope this helps in your journey to healing. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for ASK REE.
Hello, Simply Ree. Can I be anonymous? I'm so heartbroken and disappointed at my husband. He just confessed that he has a child outside the marriage last night. He then added to say that he doesn't love me anymore, nor love me anymore. I need advice. What should I do? I don't know how to tell my family or our kids. They are still too young to experience breakup. Dear Anonymous, I am truly sorry for what you are going through. I cannot begin to imagine the pain you are feeling right now. However, dealing with your problem at hand, when your husband came to you to talk to you about this issue, did he tell you where he wants things to go? As in, did he tell you that now he's deciding to end things with you? Or he just told you that and didn't say much? Maybe you were also shocked you didn't respond in any way, you didn't say anything, you didn't ask any questions. Because from my point of view, I am seeing two angles and I'm not sure which way it is, because I'm now deducing this from the little information you gave me. Your husband could be saying to you, baby, I am sorry. There was a time where I stopped loving you and I stopped feeling you, so I had an affair outside, and then now I have a child. I am sorry. Can we work on our marriage so that I feel the way I felt before? And then while we do that, can we also embrace that there is now another child? Or he could be saying to you, my dear, we've had our time together, but I feel like I cannot continue with us anymore. I am no longer happy and I've chosen to start a new life somewhere with someone else, and it's been going well for so long, and right now we have a child. So I think it's time for me to move in with them, since they make me happy, and I'm going to stay with them. So you stay with the child, me and you are separating. We can work on the separation, and now we will work around taking care of our children together. I don't know which is which, but maybe you can decide based on how your conversation with your husband went. As for the family and the kids, I think it's too early to tell them anything. I think you and your husband need to finalize things first, reach a common ground, reach an agreement together and say, yes, so this is what our relationship has become, our marriage has become, our lives have become, so this is how it's going to be. And then you can tell your families, and then you can find a way to tell your children. It's not a good idea to just tell children things so early before you have the final, like you don't know how things are going to play out, So I feel like you should talk to your husband first, finalize things, talk to the families, see what they have to say, if they have anything to add, if they have any suggestions on what you can do, how they can help you. And then after you've reached such, then you can start including your children. I hope this helps, and hope you find healing, and good luck with your problem, Anonymous. Hi, Simply Ree. Thank you for the wonderful platform to talk to you. I need your take on something. I feel like I'm a fish caught in a net. I've been dating my baby daddy for 7 years. Everything was okay. We were just a happy couple until 2019 when we started having issues, resulting in us to keep breaking up and making up. So last year it happened again, and I felt like I was enough and done. I decided to block him and all, felt I've taken a big step, so it really felt like I was done. So I stayed a couple of months until I met this guy whom I felt like I was loving him, though I wanted to take things easy, but he wouldn't. Everything is okay with me and him, still on honeymoon phase, if I may say. Then baby daddy happened. We finally got into contact. We spoke about us and fixing things. Then suddenly I lost interest into the new guy that I have been with. Like he sees it and it's been hurting him. I don't know what to do. My heart can still die for baby daddy, but I'm so afraid that boyfriend is going to be devastated. Dear Anonymous, I am sorry to say this, but you are the one at fault here. Your actions are going to give us casualties, and you will need to decide who the real casualty is here. You have issues with baby daddy, so every time he rocks up, everything in your life changes, and then it's all about him. And then you have a boyfriend who loves you and shows you everything that he cares about you, but you are distracted because now baby daddy is back. This just shows you that you don't love your boyfriend. You were just in there because you were in there, and then there was no distractions. As soon as baby daddy appeared, he distracts you. And for me, if I were in your shoes right now, I would not pick either of them. I would rather distance myself from both relationships. I don't think you are emotionally ready to be in a relationship. You broke up with your baby daddy for a reason, and then you tried to move on, and then but when he appears, you are lost again. I feel like you need to decide how you actually feel and decide who your casualty is going to be. It's either you let the poor new guy live now while it's still ill, while it still hurts less, because the deeper you get into this, or the more you focus on the relationship and build, the more painful it will be to leave. And also with baby daddy, are you sure that whatever made you guys fight and separate all the time and keep making up is not going to happen again? Because that's not healthy for any relationship. So for me, I would say you are not ready to be in any relationship at all. I would rather you leave both of them. Focus on yourself, build yourself, find happiness on your own, find healing on your own, prioritize yourself and make yourself happy without any man. Don't start any relationship with anyone. Don't start anything new. Don't continue with a new boyfriend. Don't continue with the old one. Find yourself, be happy, heal, and then from there, time will tell. You will heal with time, and life will happen to you, and everything will happen gradually the way it's supposed to. For now, I feel like you're just rushing into things. You keep jumping from this to that, jumping from here to there. You are all over the place. Sit down, think about this, and you will then see where you want to be. As time goes, after you've healed, you will see where you want to be, and you will start to understand yourself better and see what makes you happy. Then you can make better decisions. Good luck, Anonymous. Simply Ree, I had a physical fight with my boyfriend last year, and I haven't forgiven him. Ever since then, I'm slowly losing interest in him and our relationship. I'm trying so hard to let go and forget about it, but instead, I tend to hate him, slowly but surely. He really had me traumatized. He's always asking for forgiveness, but I just can't. Sometimes I think we should just quit. Please help. What should I do? My dear, abuse is abuse. It starts small. Eventually it grows. I would like to say the only reason it hasn't happened again, according to me, is because you haven't forgiven him for the first attempt. Should you have forgiven him for him beating you up, he would have probably tried for the second time. However, there are other people that actually apologize and mean it, and it just stops from there. They learn their lesson and they've literally changed. I don't want to speak for your boyfriend. I don't know if he has changed or he is still waiting for you to forgive him so that he tries again. However, if you were to take my advice, or if I were in your shoes, I would run. Abuse is abuse. It starts small. However, it grows. The more you forgive them, the worse it gets. You are already traumatized from one experience. You don't even enjoy being with him anymore. Like you're saying, you're losing interest in the relationship. You're losing interest in him because all you picture is just that very sad day where things were heated up and he ended up beating you. I don't know why you were fighting on that day or arguing or how it got there, but chances are it can get there again. So if you don't want to experience that trauma again, I would say just walk away, because I don't understand why you are still together in the first place right now, because you have already lost interest in it. You don't even trust him anymore. You are even afraid of him. So I don't understand why you are still there. As you said, you are traumatized. He is going to try and surprise you, something very simple and nice, and he's walking in, trying to surprise you from behind you, sneaking in. The next thing he touches you, you're going to jump. You'll be so scared, it will be shocking. You won't even be happy over the surprise, because you're always on a standby mode. You're always on protective mode because you are afraid of somebody. I think this is where you let go. You need to let go because you've lost interest and you're afraid of him. As long as you're still going to be afraid of him, there's still going to be an issue. You are traumatized and you need to heal. And the way you are making it sound from what you wrote to me, it sounds like your healing comes with you being away from him. So you need to end your relationship and start healing so that you can continue with your life and then move on. Stop wasting each other's time. Good luck, Anonymous. Please heal from your trauma. I know such things are very traumatic and take time to heal. Dear Simply Ree, my girlfriend is pregnant. She doesn't want to keep the baby. Ari and Anya are ready. And Gamo, I want the baby. This will be my first baby. Kopati Solutions. Dear Anonymous, this is a very sticky situation that you have found yourself in. An unplanned pregnancy is a problem in relationships, especially if you never had conversations about babies before it actually happened. So now you guys will need to sit down and actually talk until you find common ground. There is no other way around it, because now girl might have reasons why she doesn't want the baby. It might be financial problems or emotional problems, or having to leave your baby, maybe going to school or to work. You might find that she's struggling with that, and then she feels like if she has baby number 2, she's going to have double the problem. You might find that financially she is actually struggling to put food on the table, to buy clothes for the baby, or take care of the baby in general and herself at the same time. So she feels like if she adds another baby, she's adding on that struggle. So you will need to find out what her actual reasons are behind not wanting the baby, so that you can understand where she's coming from. Maybe you can even help solve those problems. For example, maybe you can say, I'm going to help you financially. This is what I'm going to do and do. However, it's not just a matter of talking. You will need to show her that you are capable and you will do it. If it's a matter of where to take the baby or how to take care of the children, you can also give suggestions like at home should be willing to take care of the children. We can find a nanny together. We can move in together. If she has no place to stay that's proper for 2 children, such things. You will need to show her and convince her that you mean it and you will do it and you will be there. I think that's what can help you change her mind. I'm not saying she will change her mind. I'm just saying it's a step in the direction where you want. And another thing, do remember to ask your girlfriend to also take contraceptives like IUDs, injections, pills. and not just rely on using condoms only for contraceptions because the condom breaks or something happens or you just decide not to use it. At least you know, or she will be safe, double protection and all of that. Good luck with your problem, Anonymous. I hope things go well for the both of you and it doesn't lead to you guys breaking up and you find common ground in all of this.